All right. We are live. Yes.
Yay!
It's Friday. TGIF. Hello, everyone out there watching on Facebook and YouTube. We are broadcasting live to both. Welcome to the next episode of Food Freedom Friday. With Dr. Firlande and myself, Dr. Rene. Oh my goodness, we are super excited to be here. Of course, we have
Yes,
partnered together to get together every Friday and have a fun-filled conversation, an enlightening conversation about food freedom, having a better relationship with food. So we just want to say hello to everyone. We made it.
hello.
Oh, looks like Dr. Jaquel is here. Oh my
Hi,
goodness.
Dr. Jaquel.
Hey, Dr. Jaquel, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, rep your city. Dr. Jaquel, where are you tuning in from? We'd love for you to let us know where you're watching from, and anyone else that has tuned in, please feel free to write your comments, and we will definitely try to respond to those.
Absolutely.
Oh,
She said she's right on the dot at 8 p.m.
yes, honey, we stay on time.
Yeah,
Yes. All right. So, yes, it's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. here in Chicago. And Dr. Firlande, where are you broadcasting from?
it is. So I'm in Alaska. So it's 4 p.m. in Alaska. So 4 p.m. Alaska time. 4 hours
Okay.
behind.
Awesome. Okay. So, we've got Alaska. We've got here in Chicago. Dr. Jaquel said Fairfield, Connecticut, but she is a Jersey girl by heart. I love it. Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, my goodness. All
Anyone
right.
else is on? I saw Dr. Hassan was on.
Oh, well,
So
hello, Dr. Hassan. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who do not know who I am Dr. Rene Roberts. You can call me Dr. Rene, board certified family medicine physician. And I help professional athletes transition to life after sport, both emotionally and physically. I also have a passion for health, wellness, and fitness, as well as my super friend, Dr. Firlande here. So that is why we have decided to partner up as well. For those of you that do not know Dr. Firlande, she is a extraordinary and fantastic naturopathic physician, currently in Alaska. But I don't want to steal her thunder. I want to give her the opportunity to introduce herself. So, Dr. Firlande, my partner in crime for Food
yes,
Freedom Friday.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the partial introduction. You did such a great job.
Thank you.
I am so happy to be on live with you. I think this is something that is much needed, and we will definitely continue this conversation. But let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Firlande. I am a licensed naturopathic physician. I am also a best-selling author, speaker, and weight loss expert. I offer natural solutions to women who are between 20 to 50 pounds overweight so they can have the courage and confidence to love themselves and their lives while they are managing their weight. So I do get into the mindset. I do allow people to love themselves while they are going through the process, because it makes it so much easier for them to lose the weight because they are forming such a better relationship with themselves. So it's not just about losing the weight, but it's having that body love and loving yourself wherever you are at every stage and at every age as well.
Fantastic. I love it. Cannot wait to hear more from Dr. Firlande. Okay, so you know we're using this forum to talk about food,
Yes.
a better relationship with food. Partly because both Dr. Firlande and I have had our own personal stories with that. So I'm assuming we will definitely be sharing some of that. But tonight, as you all can see, the topic, dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
is food guilt. Oh my gosh. I was like,
Mhm.
yes, we have to talk about this because this is such a serious topic. And it's a topic that a lot of us don't want to talk about.
Right.
We like to keep quiet. But
Yes.
I feel like if anybody has ever been on a diet, how many of you out there have ever been on a diet? Write that in the chat. Okay, tell the truth. It's okay. We are
True.
family here. Yes. If any of you have ever been on a diet, I'm pretty sure at some point in time you have probably dealt with food guilt, and that is going to be our topic tonight. What it is, where in the world did it come from, and how can we battle it? How can we get some solutions to tackle food guilt? Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into to our topic tonight. Okay. So of course, what is it? I feel like that's a great starting point. What is
Yes.
food guilt in the first place? So it is a negative emotion that occurs when we feel guilty about what we've eaten, or you can be on the flip side. You can have negative emotions about feeling about something that you didn't eat. Like, ooh, I probably should have had that kale salad for lunch, but instead I went to the drive-thru and got me a 2-piece and a biscuit. Fried chicken.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Food guilt, unfortunately, can make us to have a bad relationship with food. Okay. It can allow us to think of food as an unhealthy obsession because you're constantly thinking about, oh my God, what did I just eat? Should I have eaten that? Did I eat too much? Did I eat too little? And I know I've been here. I'm just going to be honest and tell people the truth. I have had issues with this. And a lot of times what can happen is I beat myself up. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, Dr. Firlande saying yes. Okay,
Yes.
I end up beating ourselves up because it's like, oh man, I definitely should not have eaten that. And you know, oftentimes I know we've all been there where we've overindulged. We ate too much of this or too much of that. Probably thinking about the holidays, a birthday, a milestone, and it's just like, man, well, now I've overindulged in all these calories, and so oftentimes what happens with food guilt is we can adopt a what the hell attitude. Well, what the hell? I ate it. I'm just going to go ahead and finish eating it. Like I had one slice of pizza, then I went for the second slice of pizza, and now it's just like, what the hell? It's over. I'm just going to eat
the whole box.
It's a loss. Let's just eat the whole pizza.
Right.
So, Dr. Firlande, you know, why don't we talk a little bit about guilt? Not just food guilt, but just like
Guilt in general.
In general, yes.
Yes. Such a great segue into like what is guilt. Like, you know, we feel it all the time. So it is a feeling. It is something's an emotion, all right, so that we have when we do something we're not supposed to do, right? When we do something we're not supposed to do. It is like, you know, when I think about the guilt, I think about how it is a learned behavior. It is a learned behavior because imagine when you were young and you grab something or you eat something you were not supposed to eat, and then your parents or someone who's older than you made you feel guilty about it. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be food, because I have one experience where one day I was like, you know, sitting by the door, and I, you know, to me it wasn't even a bad word. I say something I wasn't supposed to say, and all of a sudden my mom heard me, and she made me feel so guilty about it. Like, why would you say that? And throughout my whole life, it carried me into this guilt of like, and the shame of like, why did I say that? Why did I say that? So it is really a learned behavior where someone else instilled that in you, and then you carry that throughout your whole life, and you never feel like comfortable, and the guilt stays with you. It stays with you. And it's just not a good thing to me. It's not a good thing. So which gonna bring us to the next point of like, what does the food guilt, what does that do to us? What does it do to us? Dr. Rene.
Yes. Well, I think, you know, just to piggyback real quick, you made a really good point. One, it's learned behavior, and it's something that we actually learn at a young age, which is kind of scary when you think about it, because I know we've all been there. I mean, who's had a parent that hasn't said, you can't have another bag of chips, you can't have cookies and candy? and I guess not realizing that, hey, what does that do to you as a young child, and how does that carry over, into your teenage years and adult years? We learned very early on that there is a certain negative connotation associated with certain foods.
Yeah, and also, I wanted to mention, like, your parents looking at you as you get as an adult, and they don't really want to say anything, or they just look at you like, are you really gonna have that bowl of ice cream? Like, giving you that cross eye, like, are you really gonna eat that? So it builds that shame and guilt, like, maybe I shouldn't have it.
Absolutely.
Because now they can't really tell you what to do in a way, like verbally, but they still mention it, like, you should not really have that. Look at your weight, so you carry that with you constantly.
Ooh, bring back some memories. Okay, as we were saying, so what does the food guilt do? What type of impact does it have on us? Well, I think one of the biggest things that food guilt does is it creates a vicious cycle. Now, I know we've all been here. I know I've been here this week. You're like, okay, this is it. This is the week. I am going to eat healthy. I'm going to have my proportioned meals. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to have my kale salad. I'm going to limit my carbohydrate intake. I'm not going through the drive-thru. I will not have pizza. I will not eat cookies. And then you can only sustain that for so long, especially if you don't have, good willpower or discipline. And then what happens? We get bored with eating healthy. And it's like, well, maybe you start fantasizing or thinking about, man, I've been so good. I've gone a week or two without going through the drive-thrus. So let me just think about that cookie. And then it becomes an obsession. And then you're like, okay, you break down. You have a moment of weakness. You go ahead, you have the craving, you give in, you eat the cookie. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh man, I shouldn't have eaten that. And then the little thoughts start rolling up in your head. I shouldn't have eaten that. Why did you eat that? The guilt starts. You start feeling bad about yourself because you ate a cookie. And so one of the things that I want our audience to be aware of is the vicious cycle. It starts all over again. You just press repeat, start eating healthy again, wait till you get bored, get distracted, eat your favorite food or whatever it is, feel guilty about it, and then hit the repeat button.
Oh my God, yes.
The other thing too, which again, I will admit to this, is that, have you ever created food rules for yourself? I have.
Yes.
So food rules, okay? Like, I don't know, anyone out there in the audience, if you want to chime in as well.
Yes.
If you have created a new food rule. So these are the set of rules that you make for yourself. So I know I have rules like, oh my gosh, I can't eat after 7 p.m. because anything I eat is going to go straight to my hips and thighs and I'm going to get fat. Or, oh, I can't have this food because this, and this is going to happen. So on and so forth. I don't know, Dr. Firlande, do you have any rules?
Yes, I've made so many rules. It's not even funny. Like, can you stop with the rules already?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Essentially, it's like you tell yourself what you can eat. You tell yourself what you can't eat. You tell yourself how much of something you can have, how little of something, so on and so forth. And that is just a recipe for disaster. It is definitely a recipe for developing food guilt, and actually essentially creating the food rules is a perfect setup for feeling guilty about. Yes. Okay. So let's see. I think we may have a comment here. Just want to remind everyone, you are watching Food Freedom Friday. Looks like Dr. Amina is here. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Amina.
Hi. And thank you so much for tuning in. You are watching Food Freedom Friday with Dr. Firlande and Dr. Rene. We are talking about food guilt tonight. And
is that your sister on? Is that Roberts Jones?
That's my sister. who, if I can just tell her where she's coming from Tampa in sunny Florida. So
There
thank you
you
so
go.
much. We have Amina on. We've got my sister, Stephanie. We've got Dr. Jaquel. And I don't know if there's anyone else out there, but if you guys are not shy, definitely type in the chat and let us know where
Yes.
you are watching from.
I
Okay.
do see that we have a lot more people. So please just put in the comments, like, let us know that you are here and you're watching and this has been beneficial to you. So absolutely.
Exactly. Please, we love to hear from you. You know, we're social. We'll chat with you for a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, so again, the topic tonight is food guilt. How do we survive food guilt? Because we've all been there. And I think, Dr. Firlande, you have some solutions for us on
Yes.
how we can combat the food guilt.
Yes, absolutely. So, just to chime in on everything that she says, me, like that vicious cycle. And usually we go back into like what the weekend. So the whole week, we do so well. And that's why we wanted to come on Friday because it goes down on Saturday and Sunday, right? Even Friday night, you start having like your happy hour, you know, and then you go back, oh, I'm gonna start Monday again. I'm gonna, continue that vicious cycle. So I identify with that, highly because I'm like, I do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of the solutions? So what can you do about it? If you are experiencing food guilt, what's the first thing you can do about it? First thing that I'll mention is knowing your triggers. Knowing your triggers.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your triggers? What foods you like to indulge in that you know for a fact that will make you feel guilty afterwards? Okay. I'm going to confess.
Confession. I love it. I might confess too. Okay.
Okay. I love ice cream. I've said that many times, right?
Yes.
I love ice cream. That's my trigger. And I don't even bring it in the house anymore because I know, I'm going to tell you how bad it could be for me. My trigger being ice cream. I'll be like, okay, you know what? I know my son likes like certain flavor of ice cream. So I get him his flavor of ice cream and I get my flavor of ice cream, right? What about like he doesn't get to his on time and I'm done with mine? Guess who goes into his ice cream? Me. Guilty. Yeah, that's my trigger. So if you know you have a particular trigger, just don't bring that food into the house because, like we mentioned last week, there's no such thing as willpower. It's there, you're going to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second thing is it a person or relationship? Okay. So
that's a good one.
Yes. Is the person relationship with a certain someone causing you to get upset to the point that you overeat? Okay. How many people have that? Like, your husband or your wife say something to you and then you like, boom, okay, I'm going to that ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get into that pizza because someone else made you upset. Okay. So knowing those triggers. Another one is stress. Stress. So
that's huge.
That is huge. What stresses you out? Okay. Again, I'm going to open up my own personal story. I know I have a lot of things going on right now. I am in transition right now. So some days I come home and I'm like, where is that pizza? Right. All I want to do is, call delivery. I am under a lot of stress. I have a lot of work to do. Right now, my refrigerator is actually empty. My house is empty because I know those triggers. I know those triggers. So I'm not going to bring them in the house because I know I'm going to eat all of them at the same time. So I kind of stay away from that. The other one is, holidays. Okay. So the next holiday is like Memorial Day weekend. This is another time that we go all out. We, especially since we have been sheltering in place.
Yes.
We know the barbecue is gonna go down. We know that potato salad, right?
Woo, so potato salad, come on now.
It's gonna go down. So if you know you have your triggers, I have something that I like people to do. How about you eat before you go to some of those events, because if you're full, you are less likely to pig out, right? You make sure you drink a lot of water, make sure that you are actually full, because if you are full, you're not going to be eating all those different foods that you're not supposed to be eating anyway. Okay, so holidays are special occasions where people do go all out, and it's not the best thing, like, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July weekend. So make sure you have a plan, because you can't avoid those holidays. So make sure you have a plan ahead. And the last thing that I do want to mention, painful memories. So if you have something, so especially now, because we are sheltering in place, we have more time to think about, you know, traumas and things that have happened in the past. Those particular traumas or emotional triggers can cause you to run to that ice cream, to run to that pizza, and cause that trigger, which is going to make you feel guilty afterwards. Yep. Because why did I sit here and eat all this food? It's all about that guilt that surfaces after you've pig out. Okay, so knowing your triggers are super, super important.
Excellent points, Dr. Firlande. I mean, that still resonates home with me, and I think it's a big one about the emotions. I think we'll be talking about that a little bit more in just a few minutes. So other solutions. So Dr. Firlande just gave a great examples about how to break free from food guilt, knowing your triggers. Another big one that is huge is you have to change your mindset. Your relationship with food really just has to change, but change for the better. I like the concept of eating intuitively and eating with a purpose. Okay, I am going to tell you right now, when I get stressed, it's like I will eat on autopilot sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not even paying attention. Get me a bag of Trader Joe's movie theater butter popcorn, okay? Because the stuff is good, all right? And before you know it, you're like, oh, I'm just going to have a little bit. I'll be fine. And then you're just doing this. And oh, I'm so stressed out. And girl, before you know it, the end of the night is here. And there's like 4 kernels left at the bottom of the bag, right? It's like, oh my God, what just happened? I was not paying attention to what I was eating. I was, you know, a lot of us, let's be real, we eat to numb our feelings. Right. Okay. Yeah. You know, I had a relationship breakup several years ago, and I'm just gonna tell the truth. My goodness, I packed on a lot of weight, like almost 20 pounds. It was crazy. And I had started a new job at that time, fresh out of residency, and I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't even recognize who I was when I stepped out, you know, the shower one day. And I'm like, who is this person? I had like double back fat and cellulite. And I mean, literally put on about 15, 20 pounds. And I knew what it was, the mindless eating. A lot of it was emotional eating. And so it is very important that if we're going to break free from food guilt, that we need to change our mindset. We could do a whole nother live stream, girl, just on the mindset. Yes. We need to do that. We can just dedicate a whole show just to changing the mindset. But the thing is that you want to make sure that you're not obsessing about every single thing that you eat. There's so many of us out there, okay, that are like that. Oh my God, I have to eat this for breakfast. Okay, now I have to make sure I eat 3 hours later, or I can only get 3 meals today, or I can only get 3 meals and 2 snacks, or I can only make sure I get 250 calories. Woo, sigh. Sometimes we just need to calm down and not obsess so much. Because again, we want to break free from food, from the bondage of food. So again, things I like to tell myself, because I literally have to do this, okay? Whether I'm at home or in the grocery store, it's like, I'm going to eat with a purpose. Yes. I'm going to eat intuitively. So I'm going to think about what it is. Like, do you really need the Snicker bar right now? Or are you just upset because someone cut you off in traffic, or your supervisor just gave you a bad quarterly review, or whatever it is? That may not be the time to go and reach for some food that you know that you shouldn't be eating. The other thing too, oh my gosh, we're so hard on ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves.
Preach, girl, preach.
Yeah, come on now. Okay.
Yes.
We are so hard on yourselves. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. It's okay. Give yourself permission to have that setback. It's okay if you have 2 setbacks in a row. You may have 3 setbacks in a week. You may have 10 setbacks in a week. But you're human and we all make mistakes. So it's so important to adopt that mindset to allow you to give yourself permission to make mistakes.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love all of it. Okay. I think the one that I can identify the most with is the mindful, just like eating mindfully, right?
Yes.
You don't have to feel guilty as long as you stay mindful. When you are when you are present with what you're doing, it takes you to a place where I am making conscious efforts to choose the proper food. So eating mindfully is very, very big. I did see some comments. Some comments kept popping on my screen, but I don't see them on here. And I was looking for them while you were talking, but I can't find them anywhere. Dr. Jaquel had some comments, but I can't find where she is commenting. So I'm kind of a little bummed about that. So Dr. Jaquel, oh, I can find, okay, wait. Stress. Yeah, I can find where she's commenting. So, but if you're on Dr. Renee's page, go ahead and comment there so we can see them, and then we can acknowledge what you are saying, because I kept seeing them popping on my screen, but I don't know where she
well,
is.
maybe. Let's see here while we're simultaneously in a live stream. All this technology is absolutely amazing.
I know.
Okay, shout out to StreamYard, who is doing this live stream for us. I am broadcasting to my Facebook fan page, Dr. Renee, and to my YouTube page simultaneously. So if anyone is not on Facebook and wants to jump on YouTube, you can type in Dr. Renee Roberts. Look for this little face. There, but I can pull up the Facebook live stream on my phone here, and we can see if we have missed any comments. So let's do that.
Absolutely. I'm looking through as well, and I don't see any that we have missed. Craig said, "Awesome sauce." That's
hello, Craig. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for joining. Tag a friend, and share this broadcast. I'm sure someone needs to hear all of this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's your task. Tag a friend.
All right, and hit that thumbs up button if you like it. If you love it, hit those red hearts on Facebook.
Red hearts, yes, love it. All right, so the next one that we want to get into is controlling your emotions.
Yes.
Controlling emotions, because a lot of time we do things because we are in our feelings, right? We are so emotionally attached to something someone else said to us, right? And then we're like, okay, the way that I can deal with this particular thing is by eating, and then we feel guilty afterwards, of course. Emotions are tied to our thoughts, right? So our emotions produce our actions. So for example, if you are thinking about how unhappy you are right now, or if you are thinking about something that someone else said to you, right, which happened like maybe 2 years ago, but you're still in your feelings about it.
That's some real talk right there.
Yes. Okay. So that particular emotion can trigger you to go into emotional eating. And that's what it's all about, is actually controlling those emotions so you don't go into that emotional eating, which is going to set you back, and you go back into that vicious cycle of feeling guilty about it. Okay, so make sure you can control those emotions. So what are some of the things that you can do? Okay, first thing is, don't eat when you're upset, when you're angry, when you're frustrated, when you are lonely, okay, when things are not going the way you want them to go, okay, because a lot of us go to the food. Food is our outlet. So instead of making food be your outlet, what about finding a different outlet? What else can you use as a different outlet instead of food? Maybe you can go for a walk. Okay, because you already have those emotions Maybe you can be like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm all in my head. Let me go for a walk. Maybe you could grab some water. Water is actually very satisfying, especially when you have those emotions going, because it can satisfy that thirst that you're thinking that is actually hunger. Okay.
Mm.
Maybe you can phone a friend. This is a really good one, right? Listen, friend, maybe your accountability partner. I am feeling some type of way. I am all in my head about what happened like 2 years ago, what happened yesterday. Someone again cut me off in traffic and I'm super upset about it. Okay, can you walk me off the ledge because I'm about to go into that pizza that I have in the refrigerator?
Yes, like help
Okay.
me, please.
Yes, help me find that friend. And I'm big on therapists too. So if you
Mm-hmm.
do have a therapist, maybe this is the time to call your therapist and say, hey, I have my food addictions or emotional eating, and I am feeling really bad right now. Something just happened. Someone passed away, or I have some emotions tied to something someone else said to me that I wasn't happy about. Find your outlet, find a different outlet. Instead of grabbing food,
Mm-hmm.
find a different outlet. So that's really what I want to focus, tell you guys about some solutions.
I love that. What's your outlet? What outlet do you tend to do?
Yes, my outlet is exercise.
I should have
Yes,
known. Miss
yes,
former bodybuilder. Yes.
yes, it's exercise. Because some days, like, I'm in the house and I'm just like, oh my God, I am still like so stressed out. I have so much work to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, I was like up here, right? I had a lot going on and I called a friend. I said, hey, you want to go for a walk? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, perfect. So I went outside for a walk. It was beautiful. The weather was actually really nice. I was wearing sleeveless, okay, in Alaska.
Oh.
So yeah, so that was so when I went outside, it felt so good. I came home, I drank some water, took a shower, and I was able to go back and doing what I was doing before that was stressing me out.
Mm-hmm.
What is your outlet? Do you have an outlet?
Oh, well, I do. Gosh, well, I'd have to, lately during this whole COVID-19 pandemic, walking has been therapeutic, super therapeutic. I mean, it just literally like feels good. Probably just because it's good to just to get outside, see some different scenery, breathe in some fresh air. So that has been helpful. You know, I'm a figure skater, okay? Even though I'm a former figure skater, I still love to get up my skates on, but I can't do that now because the ice rinks are closed. One thing, since I've stopped competing figure skating, which I never thought that I would really get into, well, let me be careful when I say this. I run. I don't know if I want to say I enjoy running, but I have joined a running club here in Chicago, and I actually in February just ran my first half marathon. What? Never thought I would ever do that.
Yeah.
My knee was talking to me after that, so I was like, oh, I may have to rethink this. But I had a lot of fun. It's just like it gives you something to concentrate on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, okay, we are going to go do 5 miles today, or we're going to go do 10 miles today, and it gives me something to channel my energy into, whether I'm frustrated, angry. Have some angst about what's going on, or just need to clear my mind. I'm like, let me just go and focus on this mileage real quick. I
Yeah.
don't run for time. I don't run for, like, oh, I'm going to get across the finish line first. No, I just run just because I can. And so I'm actually doing some virtual races. That's like my new thing right now during the COVID-19 pandemic, as I've signed up for like 2 virtual races.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so they send you like your bib and you get your cool medal, and you just have to have like a running app, Nike running app, your phone, or the little Apple Watch or a Fitbit or something like that to track your mileage. You can take as little or as long as you want, and it's like, okay, I've got something I can focus in on with that.
That's
So,
really cool. I
yeah,
need to sign up for some virtual races.
I can
I
send you some links.
I ran my first marathon in 2010.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah,
Oh.
so it was really cool. It was really nice. And yeah, I did feel it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But I've been doing like a lot of races. Like here in Alaska, we have the Midnight Sun Run, It's a 10K.
Oh, that's
It
nice.
happens, yes, it happens under the midnight sun, which is really good.
Oh,
And the first time I did it, I ran. My time was about 6. I'm all about the time. Okay, I
oh,
don't.
see. And
But my competitive nature, I'm all about the time. Now I don't need to finish first, but I'm like I don't want to finish last either. So
hey, there
I
you
did.
go.
I did about 10 minutes a mile, which was really good.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
so it was really fun. The second time around, another that was last year, I did not train for it at all,
Okay.
right? But and then so I went with my son, which was like he was very reluctant to do it with me,
Yeah.
but he found a friend and is like, okay, see you later, mom.
Bye.
Okay, I was like,
I'm out.
yeah, and he finished before me, but I was like right behind him, which was really good. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I still got it, right?
Yeah.
So, but I do need to look into those virtual runs because I didn't even know they had them. Because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for something because, like you said, it gives you something to focus on instead of focusing on food. Now you're focusing on exercise and moving
Exactly.
your body.
And you get some good benefits at the same time too, because then 9 times out of 10 you're going to feel pretty good about yourself.
Exactly.
You've gotten out there and run, and it's good for your body. It's good for your
Yes.
body too.
Yes.
Excellent.
We do have a comment. Did you see it?
Oh, we do have a comment.
Yeah, Dr. Amina. Dr. Amina said, Dr. Firlande, yes, exercise is my prescription too.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good deal. Good deal. Amina, awesome. Okay. Well, let's keep moving along here with our solutions. We're talking about food guilt tonight here on Food Freedom Friday with super friend Dr. Firlande, naturopathic physician extraordinaire, fitness guru. Goodness, the list can just go on and on. Not enough time in this live stream to talk about all your accomplishments.
It's so
funny. Okay, so the next solution to help us battle food guilt, I would say, without a doubt, we got to revise our food rules. Okay, for those of us that have food rules, which I'm pretty sure most of us do, or if you're not even aware of it, quietly, you probably do. If you're putting restrictions on yourself about what and when and how much you can eat and then feeling bad about it afterwards. So I think another effective solution would be to revise those food rules or maybe throw them out altogether. That's definitely an option as well. Maybe we don't even need to have food rules. But I think ultimately that will help us create a more healthy relationship with food so that we're not battling food.
Yes.
Okay, so that we can actually use food for its intended purpose, which is for nourishment, not as a therapist, not as a crutch, not as a cushion. So I think I have some food rules that need to be revised. I do. So I need to give that some thought. Sometimes it could be a good thing because it can keep us on track. But I think when we cross that point where we are now literally on a shame spiral, so to speak, okay, you can't even look yourself in the mirror because you're so disgusted with yourself because you ate a muffin or you ate a bagel with cream cheese, and it's like, wow, wait a minute. Let's pump our brakes here. So I think another effective solution would be to revise the food rules.
Yes, absolutely. So my take on it too is that okay, I know foods, like you said, food is meant to be medicine. That's your first line of treatment or therapy, really, right? As medicine. So if we use food as medicine, we know food can do only two things. It's gonna go either to heal or to hurt, right? So when we revise our rules, maybe we're like, okay, you know what? I am going to use this for nourishment. And I know if I eat certain food, it's gonna either serve two purposes, either to heal or to hurt. So how can we, without having that guilt play back and forth in our head, if we keep in if we keep in the back of our head that okay, I am using food as medicine, not as therapy, and I'm going to use food to heal my body and not to hurt my body, then we can really set even push away those set rules and just focus on something that's gonna help us heal altogether. Excellent. So I absolutely agree with that. One of the last thing that I really want to mention is all right, so some solutions. Get off the scale.
Girl, step off that scale.
Yes, yes, yes. You got to. You got to. Okay, so personal story because I like to make it real,
Yes,
right? I
be
like to make
real.
it
Share
real.
with us.
Yes, I get very neurotic about the scale.
Mm.
Okay, so for example, when I go on my, weight loss journey, I'll have to, step on that scale every single day. Like, why do you need to step on the scale
Ooh.
every single day? I don't know, because I had something bad the night before and I want to see if my weight went up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I get super, super neurotic. And if my weight went up the next day, then I'm like, oh my God, then again, that guilt. Okay, why did I eat that? Why am I not adhering to a program? Why am I doing this to myself? Okay, so it's all that language, the dialogue
Mhm.
that we have in our head that causes us to be even feel more guilty about what we've done. Okay, so
Mhm.
get off that scale, get off the scale. So I do recommend just weighing yourself weekly.
Okay.
Okay, one, because if you do it daily, certain foods that you eat can cause more water gain. All right, if you're on your menstrual cycle, you're also gonna have more water gain, which is gonna cause the scale to be a little higher. Okay, so definitely don't be so rigid about the scale. All right, maybe like another thing that I recommend to people is measuring the progress via like either getting a measuring tape and like every couple of weeks just measure how many inches you've lost instead of stepping on that scale, because the scale can be very discouraging. If you are exercising, if you're like, avid, like, okay, I gotta do my weight training, I gotta do certain things, the scale is not going to move. Most of the time, it's going to stay the same, and you're going to feel frustrated because the scale is not moving while you are gaining muscle mass. So
One.
I would say for some people, you may even need to throw away the scale. If you're eating right, if you're exercising, throw the scale away
Let's talk.
and get some measuring tape. Yeah,
Or go
get
by how
measuring
your
tape.
clothes fit. I think
Yes,
that's an
yes, yes,
excellent tool. Because, girl, me and that scale, sometimes I'm telling you, I'm like, look, we're about to
yes,
have a problem. Especially during my menstrual cycle. I mean, I hate to put all my business out there. Sorry, folks, but I'm going to be real because we like to be honest here and keep it real. Oh, my gosh.
yes.
Guaranteed. When Aunt Flo comes every month, it is a guaranteed like 4 pounds, like clockwork, 3 to 4 pounds, minimum 3. And I'm like, what is this? And I have to stop and say,
Right.
wait a minute, before you have freak out, panic attack. It's just water weight. So I don't
Just
even weigh
what
myself during my menstrual cycle.
There you
Mm-mm.
go. Yeah. And because you feel so bad about it and you like, oh my God, I'm doing all this work. Why have I gained 4 pounds? So guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna go back into that emotional eating
Yes. So what
because
the
you feel
hell?
bad. Yeah. Because you feel bad about your weight increasing. So
Mhm.
okay, so get off of that. You need to focus on the benefits. Okay, the
Mm.
benefits of eating well, the benefits of exercising, because there's so many benefits. So if you're focusing on those benefits, such as like lowering your blood pressure, managing diabetes better, even some autoimmune illnesses, because we know a lot of it is linked to food sensitivities.
Mhm.
So if you're eating better, you're actually decreasing your body reacting. That
Mm.
autoimmune is like, okay, I'm allergic to wheat or I'm sensitive to wheat, but I'm still eating that. Okay, so focus on the benefits. Improve mobility, right? So if we are eating healthy, if we are removing the guilt, there are so many other benefits, like, you are more mobile, you're not feeling, restricted. Your joints are working better, right?
Right.
um, Much better, right? So again, it's focusing on veering your focus from something that's negative into something that's positive. Okay. um, and the last thing here, of course, lowering health insurance and life insurance premiums. I love that.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Firlande, I just went through this and I
Did you
want to
really?
I'm telling you, I just went through this. And can I just share a story with you real quick
Yes,
about
absolutely.
this very thing? And to all the viewers out there, listen, okay? This is the real deal. I was like, okay, I need to get my life together. I need to get a life insurance policy because I didn't have one. And as we all know, or just in case you don't, the older you get, the higher your premiums, the higher that policy is going to cost, because there's a greater risk that something is going to happen to you, or that you're going to develop some type of condition, diabetes, heart attack, high blood pressure, that type of thing. So I was like, you know what? I need to get on this right now, because I was about to have, and just had another birthday. So of course, as the years go up, so do your premiums. I'm like, so I literally had to have a full slew of blood tests. Okay. The little nurse came, well, she wasn't little, but you know what I'm saying? She came to my place, had to get my weight checked, had to step on the scale. You know, I don't like doing that. Had to step on the scale. She took my blood pressure. She drew blood. I mean, I don't even know how many vials of blood. Okay. I just remember seeing tube after tube after tube. And I was like, man, this is the real deal. They are going to give me a life insurance policy if they give me one. Okay. But it is legit going to be based on the results of this blood work, my BMI, body mass index, my blood pressure, my blood sugar, my cholesterol readings, plus a long, lengthy health questionnaire asking you everything. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Have you ever been,
family history.
Family history was huge. Do you have a family history of diabetes, stroke, heart attack, cancer, hepatitis? I mean, it was insane. But let me share this with you and with our audience. The great thing is, I'm telling you, I have never been so happy to trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle and keep myself in check, because my life insurance agent called me back. My policy got approved. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Okay.
Yes.
And he said, do you know what I want to tell you, Dr. Rene? He's like, your results came back. Everything came back fine, which was good. But apparently the health insurance company rates you, okay, based on whether you have excellent health, good health, average health, below average, poor, that type of thing. And your rates are going to fall accordingly. Obviously, the worse your results are, the higher your premiums, or they can just say, we're not going to cover you. He called and told me that my report came back with the highest rating. He said, you had the highest health rating. He's like, that helped you out tremendously, because my premiums were not going to be nearly as expensive had I had lower health rating.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So I totally identify, because I had to do that 2 years ago. The stress of that though, like, cause
very
it's like, I know I'm healthy, but I know I go through my emotional eating sometimes, but I'm thinking like the whole time. And there was one question on there. There was one question that was like, took me on the loop, because it says, do you experience an increase? Have you experienced an increase in weight in the past year or so, or 6 months to a year? Yeah. And I was just like, well, I mean, I go up and down, 5 to 10 pounds throughout the whole year. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, should I be honest about that? Is that going to affect, my insurance policy? But I really had to think about it.
Yeah.
And then when the guy came in, I had to explain to him, like, I don't know how you want me to answer that question. And I know a lot of us sometimes, like in the year span, you can like gain about 20 pounds.
You can gain more than that.
Even more than that, especially if you're not watching what you're eating, if you're not, doing what you're supposed to do. So it's not just about, like you said, it's not just about because you are you want to eat healthy, but because it's a lifestyle. It is something that you need to do to impact, because it's going to have a great impact on your overall health and the outcome of whether you're able to get life insurance, whether your premium is going to go up, and everything, even medical insurance, so all of those things, they do play a role in whether you get a lower or higher premium.
Yep.
So thanks for sharing your story.
Yes, I had to, because I'm like, if this is not motivation for someone to say, okay, you know what, I need to get it together, it's never too late, because the longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. You'll get a policy. There's lots of places. I mean, unless you literally just have probably like everything wrong with you under the sun, you can get a policy, is what I've been told, but it's going to cost you. And this is the thing too. It's like, good health. Yes, it does cost. It's a lot. I can take $5 and get more out of a drive-through than I can if I go to Whole Foods. But I always tell my patients this: it's either going to cost you now, or it's going to cost you later. In some form or another.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. You are frozen in place, but we can still hear you. Yes.
I'm still moving. Oh, when I
know. I don't know why you're frozen on my screen and then you're frozen on Facebook. As well.
Yeah, I see myself right now frozen. Here we go. That's okay. I'm going to keep talking. Okay.
There you go. Keep talking because you can still hear you.
You can still hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
All right. Well, I think that we have covered some awesome solutions tonight for dealing with food guilt. Do you have any parting thoughts that you want to share with us? Obviously, we want to let people know how they can learn more about you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think the last thing that I really wanna say is that definitely if you missed this live, you need to go back and listen to it, but definitely take into account all those solutions that we mentioned, especially the mindset, being a mindful eater. Let's really pay attention. You are back. Welcome back. You're moving now.
I'm moving again?
Yes, you're moving again.
Okay. I love it. I was still moving on my end, but a good deal.
Yes. Yeah, just be mindful. Remove all that guilt because, I mean, even if you need to go to therapy to get over those guilt, as we mentioned earlier, those are the things that started from when you were super young. So if you need therapy to help you through that, I do advise you that you seek therapy, but mostly just pay attention. Pay attention. Don't eat when you are upset. Don't eat when you are unhappy. Find some different outlet like the ones we mentioned earlier, but mostly just getting to your triggers and figuring out the root cause of your issues. So those are the things that I do want to leave people with tonight.
Excellent. And now, Dr. Firlande, Miss Super bodybuilder, fitness guru extraordinaire, don't you have something going on?
Yes. Program. Absolutely. So I have a couple of things going on, but I do want to share this with you guys, especially because we have been sheltering in place. Okay. So I am recommending that you go and get my 10 tips, okay, which are my 10 secrets to losing 10 pounds in 10 days. Of course, with weight loss, we know it's an ongoing process, but actually that can help you if you do some of the steps that I recommend. It can actually help you start losing the water weight so you can actually see results and you continue on the journey. If you go to www.secrets to lose, is actually right there in front of you.
Yes, girl, I got you. I got you.
Thank you. She's on it, right? She's on it. Go to secretstolose.com and you can get my 10 secrets to losing 10 pounds in 10 days. But mostly it's a way you can start eating properly and you can actually start doing some things. Okay, so go ahead and do that.
Oh, okay, awesome. So for everyone out there, www.secretstolose.com. Just in case you can't remember what it is scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So please point your browsers after you're done watching here, of course, over to that and opt in to get those secrets. All right. Yeah. Now, of course, if you want to follow us, because we're trying to be social, then by all means, you can follow us on social media. You can follow me, Dr. Rene, MD, board certified family medicine physician, on most social media at Dr. Rene. That's DRRENEMD. If you want to send me a tweet or watch out for my tweets, I would love to have you follow me on Twitter. So that's the one that's just a little bit different. That is at Dr. Rene Roberts, DRRENEROBERTS, and the lovely Dr. Firlande, naturopathic physician extraordinaire. You can find her on all social media at Dr. Firlande.
Awesome, awesome. You welcome back again. You froze for a little bit there. But yes. We do have a comment from Dr. Amina. We so appreciate your comment.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
I love Dr. Amina. She's awesome. Thank you so much.
They have been motivating. Thank you. I've reduced my sugar intake significantly since last Friday's discussion.
Yes. Good job, Dr. Amina. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. I'm glad you're enjoying Food Freedom Friday.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I don't know why you keep frozen. Like, you keep...
Girl, I don't know. Well, that's why you're here. That is why you're here to carry the show.
There you go. There you go. I mean, we can still hear you, but you like frozen in place. But well, thank you. Well, thank you, Dr. Rene. This was such a great show.
I had a lot of fun. I did. And we will be back next Friday. Okay. Next Friday, Alaska, daylight savings time?
Yes.
Okay. So 4 p.m. Alaskan time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the Midwest in Chicago. For those of you on the East Coast, that will be 8 p.m. Of course, we like Friday because we know that's the day that lots of people like to lose it and start eating. So we want you to have food freedom. And what better way to do that than to get your weekend started off right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been such a great show. Thank you so much for hosting today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Firlande. And again, I am Dr. Rene, board certified family medicine physician. You have been watching Food Freedom Friday this evening with the lovely naturopathic physician, Dr. Firlande. Please tune in next week. You've got the information there. Watch out for our social media because we will obviously be posting our next show and the topic. Okay, so you can join us. Hit that thumbs up button. Lots and lots of blue thumbs if you're on Facebook and hearts if you're on Facebook. I'm broadcasting to YouTube, so I guess it's a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And by all means, we'll be happy to tune in with your comments. We appreciate all of you. If you guys have ideas for like topics that you would like for us to discuss, no topic is taboo. No topic is off subject. We will be happy to talk about it. So please reach out to us, give us comments, and we'll be happy to crank out a show.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And we would love to hear some more from you guys, and definitely give us feedback, what we can improve on and what you'd like to hear more about, you know. So next week, just to mention, next week is I'm gonna be hosting it on my page, and we're also gonna be sharing. So make sure you tune in next week for Food Freedom Friday.
Excellent. All right. Well, to all of you, have a wonderful weekend. Dr. Firlande, you have a wonderful weekend too. Spirit fingers. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.